I'm one of Ty's friends. I'm a big fan of the show, and also I've been in some of his movies. It's a great honor to be here. I've been looking forward to it, and yeah, it's very exciting. Yeah.
So, since you've been in some of the movies and you've acted in our detective movies, can you just explain what they're about and
Right. So I'll kind of tell the whole story. It started about almost 2 years ago. I was with my cousins. We're making a movie. I just had the idea to create this insane, eccentric detective character, Tomas Mahinty. And kind of blossomed from there into 2 more movies. And then about a year and a half ago, I was here with you, and you're like, we should make a movie. And I was like, yeah, we should do it about my this character I made with my cousins. And you're on board with that, and the rest is history. We made the first movie kind of detailing Mahinty's origins when he was in the 1920s, as up and coming as a detective and kind of fighting with Longbeard, the villain. And then the second movie is kind of the future. He's going back in time to kind of stop Longbeard from changing time. And the third movie, it's kind of more complicated with more time travel stuff and kind of him trying to prevent Charles, who's one of Longbeard's. Charles was the sibling of someone, right? I can't remember. What was that?
I don't know. It was my sister. Charles.
John Macaroni, right?
John E. I think.
They were brothers, right? And then John Macaroni was friends with Longbeard.
Yes.
Okay, that's right.
It was a little complicated.
Yeah.
Especially since I played all those characters.
Yeah.
But I'll only play one character in the next one, which you'll probably see a YouTube short coming out with a poster or something.
Nice. Yeah.
It's snowing outside.
Is it?
Yeah.
Huh. That's weird. Is that really snow?
Yeah, it's actually snow.
Huh.
I don't know what it'd be if it wasn't.
Weird. Yeah.
Anyway, so with this fourth one, we've been working on it for how many months now?
Wow, I feel like I wrote the script in October. It was a while ago.
But we've been working on it, just simple concepts of it since August.
Yeah.
So and it's now March, so
Yeah.
it's been 8 months.
Yeah, pretty close.
And we'll start filming this summer, so you get to expect that film coming out.
Yeah.
Around
Christmas, right? Isn't that what you said?
Christmas time, hopefully.
Yeah.
If we get all the visual effects done.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
So you do something similar at your school. You go to Ignite.
Right.
And you're sort of on the news team, just something like that?
Yeah, it's really cool. Every week, usually I go twice a week, but I do the news. It's really cool. Usually we have a weekly newsletter, right? I take the info from that and kind of put it on my script and read the news to everyone. And that's really cool. It's on the TVs outside and stuff. Yeah. And then also I'm doing this new segment called, I think maybe I told you about this, called News Across America, where it's kind of current events and all different facets, whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, anything. I try to stay unbiased, not lean towards either side, just try to give the news straightforward, That's been really fun doing that, and yeah, it's awesome. I've enjoyed it a lot.
So do you see yourself as a news reporter one day?
I think that'd be a lot of fun. I think I would enjoy that. I think I'd be good at that, hopefully. And I think either that or also being a sports broadcaster. That'd be fun. Yeah, I know a lot about sports, and that'd be a fun job.
Which sport would you do?
Probably football would be fun. Football or college basketball are my 2 favorite sports to watch. So probably those 2 would be my favorite to actually commentate for, I think.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything else about Ignite that you'd like to do?
Yeah, it's a great school. I do a lot there. I'm in the design college. There are 6 colleges: design, computer science, engineering, allied health, biomed, and education. And design's really cool. It kind of focuses a lot on I think out of all the colleges it does the most with your creativity and kind of expanding that. And it's weird because design has 2. I can't talk. Design has 2 career classes or 2 classes that have to do with design. One is more the online stuff, like the Adobe software, Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, that kind of thing. The other one is more targeted towards kind of the basics of design and kind of more hands-on activities and stuff, which is really cool.
So camera work and...
It can be, yeah. We had a film project earlier in the year. I showed you the trailer. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And the most recent big project we had was basically, it was kind of complicated, but we did this thing called chemograms, where you use different substances, it could be butter or toothpaste or whatever, and you put it on a photosensitive piece of paper, and dip it in different resists and or not resist. What's the word? Developers and fixers, different chemical baths, and it creates these really cool effects. I can show you a picture of how mine turned out. Hold on, I have it here somewhere.
Yeah.
Just a second. But yeah, that was really cool. And then Ignite's a great school. Maybe it's not for everyone, but I think it's definitely built for someone like me, and it's a lot of fun. And you can do most of your activities They're like after school. Here's mine. It's kind of I used for mine. It was mainly I used butter. I used soy sauce, mustard. What else? I can't think. What was the other fourth one I used?
That's pretty
I
cool.
can't remember. But yeah, it was cool. It was yeah, kind of creates a lot of black and white, and then like some colors here. I don't know if you can see that, but that's kind of what mine looked like. My kilogram.
Well, we might put a picture if you send it.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Put a picture.
Yeah, that was cool, and yeah, Ignite's a great school. I do the student council there, so I kind of help with those decisions with like spirit weeks and different school events and stuff. That's fun.
Yeah.
And the big thing, I haven't told you this yet, but I'm going to Louisville at the end of the month for I think 3 days for this thing called TSA. It's the Technology Student Association, and it's like a competition event where you can submit your different design projects, and that's me and my friend Jude, our project that we're doing. It's our YLP, our Your Own project, right? It's a short film. So I think I told you about making that, but I don't know if I've shown you it yet. It's almost done. I think it'll be ready pretty soon, so I'll show it to you when that's done. That's really cool. So we'll compete at Louisville for that. We get to stay overnight for a couple of days, and that'll be fun, yeah.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So it's like a film competition?
Well, there's different categories. There's like, I know last year my project was like TSA based, but I didn't go to the competition. It was, last year mine was promo design, where I did create like flyers and business cards, things like that for like a fake company or whatever. But yeah, there's different categories. There's photo tech, which is like more taking photos. There's there's children's book. You have to make your own book. There is board game. And there's other things. That's like just design. I know they have different competitions for like engineering and computer science as well. So it's a whole big thing with like a bunch of different competitions and stuff. I think ours will be more, we just submit it online. So we don't have, I mean, I think we'll have competition, but it'll be more kind of that and also just kind of having fun and enjoying the city and stuff. Yeah. So that'll be fun.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like I wish there was like more stuff of that at the other 4 schools that we could like get involved, stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's not as much of it. But
right.
I mean, Ignite, like you get to really focus in, because it's like college level classes.
Well,
right?
Sort of, yeah. Like this year I started taking a dual credit class for history, which is all online, but it still is, it's cool. It's World Civ, so I get high school credit and college credit from that class. Because it's weird, because Ignite doesn't offer like AP classes or honors classes, but it offers dual credit. And next year I'm taking 3 dual credit classes. I've been taking history again, like a different history. I'm taking Spanish and then English. So I'll get 3 more college credits for that as well as high school credits. So that's pretty cool. I think the classes are like a little advanced. Like I know I take Algebra 2, which is I think advanced, because I think you're taking like, well, you have the block schedule, so it's different, right?
I'm taking accelerated geometry.
Okay.
But like if I were I could double up and I could be in like Algebra 2, whatever's after Algebra 2, stuff like that.
Like calculus, or I don't know, something like that.
Something like that.
And the other thing at Ignite that's cool is film club, where we watch movies and stuff. That's a lot of fun. So I was in it last year, kind of. I didn't get to go at all, but this year it's every Tuesday. I've been going a lot with my friends and stuff, and that's a lot of fun. It's cool.
What type of movies you been watching?
It depends. It kind of varies from different genres. Like last movie I went to, it was this anime movie called Look Back. It was okay. It was kind of a short film. It was like an hour long, so it wasn't like a full length movie, but it was pretty good. And then we watched Memento. I think I told you about that. It's Christopher Nolan. It was like his first big movie. With this guy who has amnesia, kind of amnesia, but like his memory resets every couple minutes, and he's trying to find his wife's killer. That's really good. I already seen it before, but rewatching it was cool. It's a good movie to rewatch and like kind of catch things you missed the first time.
Yeah.
And then what else? The Social Network is one we watched. That one's really good. It's about kind of the creation of Facebook, like Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Yeah, that one's really good. So yeah, kind of all different genres and stuff. It's really cool.
What's like been your favorite one out of all of them?
Probably The Social Network, but also my second favorite was this movie called Hundreds of Beavers. It was it came out I think last year. It was different. It was like a Looney Tunes style black and white kind of slapstick comedy. It was about this fur trapper trying to kind of combat all these beavers trying to like attack him, and they're all like guys in like beaver suits. So it was kind of silly, but it was good. I liked it.
It was a comedy.
Yeah, it was all silent. It was good. It felt like it was like something that came out in like the 20s, but it came out like last year.
Really?
Yeah, but I recommend it for sure. It was good. I think it's on like HBO Max or one of those apps. But yeah.
Dude, there's so many apps now for movies. It's hard like to watch anything.
Yeah.
Anymore. I remember it'd be cool if when everything was on Netflix at the time.
Yeah.
Just like 5 years ago, and it was a lot easier to watch things, and now it's like you have to buy all these things. And it's whatever.
Yeah, I think COVID kind of took a part in that because like before I feel like there was Netflix and there was Amazon Prime. Maybe Hulu, but like that's all I probably use. Like Netflix, I thought that was like the big thing for me and most people. And then since then, there's been Disney Plus and HBO Max and Apple TV and all this stuff. It's like it's a lot.
I remember when like Disney Plus came out, it was big. Like,
Yeah,
it was a
that's
big
right.
deal.
That
And now
was
like nobody watches it.
yeah. I guess at the time it seemed cool that like all the Disney movies were on one app, and now it's like we're all used to it. It's like okay, that's cool, but like we're kind of moved on. I guess
It was like an event, and now it's like, well, now everything's like this now.
exactly, yeah.
That's like one thing with movies that are sort of just disappointing to me, is that they're not an event anymore. They're just more like, hey, we got this thing coming out, you can watch it. It's on whatever streaming service. It might go to theaters for a few months.
Exactly.
But then it's like you see it, whatever.
Yeah.
Before, like I remember when Endgame came out. Like that was an event. Like it was a big deal.
Yeah.
And then, like any of those movies before, it was pretty cool because like everybody wanted to go see them, and now it's just like whatever.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I like when I see movies do really well at the box office because it still shows like theaters are still important and people still go to them. Like I go to the theater. The last time I went was 2 weeks ago for the new Captain America, which I thought was pretty good.
Oh yeah.
But I still go pretty not like frequently, but like I go probably the same as I would have gone before COVID. Like whenever there's like a really big movie I really want to see, I usually go. Like the new Gladiator I saw in theaters or like stuff like that. It just depends.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
What do you think about all the sequels they have coming out? It's just like sequels anymore.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have said that like there's nothing original now, which I disagree with. I think there's still original things. You just gotta like look for it,
Mm-hmm.
But I think the sequels are just hit or miss. Like take Top Gun Maverick. I thought that was really good, and like for a legacy sequel for a movie that came out 40 years ago, I thought it was really good. But like also there's like what's another recent one that came out? I don't know. But like they're just hit or miss. I think when it comes to like Marvel or Star Wars, it's like it makes sense that they're sequels because it's like a big franchise. But like when you're making sequels to movies from like 30 years ago, it's like they can be really good or really bad or just kind of mediocre.
But I feel like people are just because like what new movies are that's out that are like let's say like family friendly or somewhat along. I feel like the Marvel movies are still family
for the most part. Yeah.
There's a little violent, but like what new movies are similar to that original that came out?
Right. There's not. I feel like everything's like a sequel, which it kind of sucks. But also, it's like I don't know. I think a lot of. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Did you see the Shrek 5 trailer?
Yeah, I did. I don't know how to feel about that. It's interesting.
It just like I think it's I don't know. I don't like the look.
I get on one hand it's like they got to modernize the look somehow because using the same style from 25 years ago it's kind of outdated but I think they still could have done it with keeping Shrek looking the same and all that.
They could have honestly you could have kept it the same style.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it's like now everything has to be super realistic and like the art which I'm not like hating on the art. I think there's a lot of talent put into it. But it's like people remember it looking one way, try to make it look that way, so like this, but they always have to like make a new look. Like the Minecraft stuff is creepy.
Yeah.
The Minecraft movie.
Yeah. I don't know about that. I might catch it on like streaming. I probably won't go to the theater to see it because I've never been like a huge Minecraft fan, but still I'm very intrigued by it. I think it could be like surprisingly good or like really, really bad.
I feel like it's gonna be terrible.
Probably, but like maybe it'll be good. I don't know. We'll be surprised maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shrek 5, I'm definitely excited. I think Shrek 2 is like probably in my top 10 favorite movies. I love Shrek 2. Shrek 1's great too. Shrek 3 is kind of bad. The fourth one's good though. So I like Shrek. I'm excited. I think it's cool they're bringing it back. But the one thing I noticed that I think is kind of crazy that like, both of us, like we were like one when the last Shrek movie came out, and then we'll be seniors in high school when the new one comes out. So it's like a whole childhood in between Shrek movies, which is kind of weird.
When was the last one?
Like 2010, I think. So it was a while ago.
So I was one.
Yeah.
Man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez. And then the Puss in Boots. Well, the Puss in Boots one came out.
That's true. I never saw that.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
You never saw it?
No. I've heard it was
Really?
good. Yeah, I never saw it.
Dude, it's so good. It's like
Yeah.
Shrek 2 level.
Yeah, I need to watch it still.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so Brody and I have been friends for, 7th grade?
Yeah, it sounds right.
So, 4 years now?
Yeah, pretty much.
So, but we've met in jazz band at school, and so like just talk a little bit like what's so cool about jazz band, because he's not in normal band. Let's make this clear. He's only in jazz band, and so like, why do you like being in jazz band? What's so cool about it?
I think just being in the band experience is fun because I play the piano. I don't do any of the woodwind or brass stuff or drums. I just do piano. I think having the opportunity to play piano with a full band of all these talented musicians of all these different, instruments is really cool. And like jazz is awesome. I think jazz is really fun to play and listen to, and it has like a fun swing to it. Like the songs we're doing right now, I think they're all like a lot of fun. I really like Abracadabra is really good, and what's the one? Jazz Place is fun. They're all great.
Jazz Place is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But dude, you need to start soloing.
Yeah, I know. I like doing it in middle school. That was fun. I need to do it again.
But I'm gonna volunteer you.
All right. Yeah.
Next time we have practice. Yeah, I like jazz band. I like it's because I'm in all the bands basically, and it's just like it's once a week. Mm-hmm. You get the solo, which I like. It's different. You don't have to necessarily be exactly with the rules. You can spice it up a little bit. I think it's fun.
I agree. Yeah, it's different for me because I do my piano lessons. That's more like classical stuff.
Yeah.
So it's cool like trying something new and kind of. I feel like I've learned a lot. I mean, I've been doing jazz band for 4 years now, I guess, because 7th grade was the first year we had it, right? So it wasn't. Yeah. So this is my 4th year doing it, and like both in middle school and high school, it's been a lot of fun, and it's cool. It's cool playing songs you already know, like Superstition we did in 7th grade, or like the Blues Brothers medley we did in 8th grade. That was fun, and like all the Christmas stuff is fun. But it's also fun doing new songs you don't know and kind of seeing that like how good all jazz is, even if it's not super well known. It's still there's some amazing musicians out there that like make great stuff. And I think it's awesome. It's a great genre.
So what's been your favorite piece we've done within the last 4 years?
Ooh, that's tough. Again, like I thought the Blues Brothers medley was really fun. That was fun, and then all the Christmas stuff I like. I think that's a lot of fun. And then even now, like Abracadabra, I think is like a really good song. That's like a fun one to play because like all the chords are fun and they're not super hard, and it's just like it gets you in like the rhythm and like the feel of it. Like you really feel in the piece, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then the one just because we did 2 years, I don't know. Blue and Moody is like still like stuck in my head every once in a while because that was like the first song we did in 7th grade.
I mean, honestly, it's not that good of a song.
Yeah, it's
like it was. I remember in 7th grade, it was so cool, and now I listened to it. It's like this sucks.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's still stuck in my head because we played it so much.
Yeah,
that was back when we had it every day for like a half hour.
That was cool. I liked it, and even at Boone, we don't have it like every school day. We only have it once a week after school.
Right.
And it's just, I feel like it's more fun having it every day.
Yeah.
Like that really was my favorite part of the day is having jazz band and having band 2 times a day. It was fun.
Yeah. So 8th grade, it was different. It was once a week for like 2 hours, right, or something like that. It was different, wasn't it?
It was. I don't because they got rid of the extra class.
The advisory. That's right. Yeah.
Which, like even Boone, they have homeroom, but I really wish they'd bring it back. Basically, have like a 5th period where we get to do like either makeup work. You have to chill for a little bit. You don't have to do work. You do homework. Or have jazz band. I would think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But they don't have that. And they don't... Do you get something like that at Ignite?
Well, Ignite's different. I think I told you about this before, but Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we have homeroom for like 5 minutes. It's like just your first period. And we have 6 classes. It's usually, a science, a history, a math, and an English. And then for most of the colleges, it's Spanish or like some language, and then their career class, whatever college they're in, they get a class for that, like a computer science class or engineering class. But design, it's those 4 classes and then 2 career classes. Like I said, I have one for like online stuff and one for more of the hands-on design. And then that's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then Tuesday and Thursday we have production days where it's 4 classes that are all long. It's kind of like box scheduling, but it's different. You sign up for the class you want, kind of just like you can do work. You can like catch up on stuff, finish missing work, or it's like we also have like YLP classes to work on our own projects, or usually there'll be like student council meetings on those days, or also we have this thing called iBlock. I think I told you about this, but it's the 4th period of every Thursday for like 4 weeks. We did it once this semester and once last semester, like the full 4-week thing, where it's kind of like more like an educational class that's also fun. Like for example, I did a film club iBlock this time. I tried to do it last semester, I didn't get in, but this semester I did it, and we watched movies and that too. So it's kind of like one after school, with like the same guy and stuff. My teacher did it, Mr. Gunn, who's a design teacher. Yeah, I think our production days are kind of like advisory, except it's like the full day, because I guess they kind of cram 5 weeks worth of content into 3 school days, and you have 2 days to catch up and do whatever, So it's different, but it's cool.
Dude, I'm a little jelly of that. I sort of wish we had something like that, like the 2 days.
Right.
Because that's like college too. You only have you go to school for like 3 days,
right,
and then the other 2 days you don't.
Yeah.
Or it's Tuesday,
right,
Thursdays.
Right. Reminds me of almost that thing we did in middle school. I think it was 6th grade. Remember like the Wednesdays where it's like Monday, we had the A day and B day, like during COVID, and then Wednesday was like a catch up day. Do you remember that?
I do remember that, but I didn't like that.
Yeah, that was
because we like the whole NTI stuff
That
was
was
a mess.
yeah,
It
but
was terrible.
but it makes things like that but cooler and in person, obviously.
Yeah. NTI. I didn't do good at NTI. Like I did so bad. I started failing math.
Yeah.
And my I was so stressed. I was becoming super overweight in sixth grade because I would just sit on my bed doing schoolwork all day, and I'm not getting any better. I'm failing all these classes.
Right.
And my parents eventually just pulled me out of school for the second half of the year, and I was homeschooled, which it had its benefits because I didn't have to I started losing some weight, and I started growing too, which took a lot of my weight away.
Right.
But it also, I just became like all I saw was my family. I just became super, almost isolated. But like you still have your family.
Right.
It's just I remember feeling really lonely, and it sucks, you know. NTI.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't really like NTI. I feel so alone in a way. I like being around other and. Now with it being like once in a while, it's like it doesn't bother. But when it was like all the time, it really was hard, and it was hard for a lot of kids.
Yeah, no, for sure. For me it was fine. I don't know. I remember fifth grade was kind of more fun because it was like the end of the year. There wasn't as many like big assignments. That was kind of more fun. I don't know.
But it was also elementary school,
right? It wasn't really hard anyway. I mean, at the time it was, but looking back, it wasn't really hard stuff.
Oh yeah, and it was they made it where it was simple. You didn't have to do all of it. In middle school and high school, they you have to get all this, and it's like, why?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I remember in sixth grade, I did social studies, and that was like so hard for me because it was the stupid summit, and I hated summit. That was awful. Thankfully, I feel like they phased it out. Like sixth grade was all summit. 7th grade it was less, and 8th grade it was like almost completely gone. So I'm glad they kind of phased it out. Because I was not a fan. It was just done like this. All the different tests and focus areas. I feel like it was like your classwork and then summit work was like a whole separate thing. You know, it was like just all this stuff. I was pretty stressed out with history because that was the big class where I had like a ton of stuff, and that was hard. But I ended up getting through it fine. And NTI was fine. I don't know. It was weird starting off middle school being completely online, and then eventually I think it was around like the second half of the year we finally went back, and then it was fine. I don't know. The whole ADB day thing was kind of weird, but it was whatever.
I feel like with the whole pandemic stuff, there's a lot of we get since then our generation has been called like terrible and stuff like that, and I see with you like you are one of the most motivated people I know. You're so busy, which is crazy to me. But there's so many people still having a hard time coming back for it. They're so unmotivated because it just a lot of this stuff seems useless. Like what gets you through the day, and stuff like that.
I think just trying to set goals for myself and just trying to be a better person, and I want to I think in my opinion life is too short to not make a difference. A lot of people I think I want to be when I when I'm one day when I'm old and I'm near death, I want to be happy with the life I lived and feel like I did something important. And obviously important is different for everyone. If you raised a family and had a good job and it's happy and we're happy with how you lived, I think that's important, and if you're happy with that then that's awesome. But I want to do that but also make a difference and help people and do something in the world that is remembered for a long time. I think that's also a motivation. For me I have ideas for what I want to be when I grow up, but I'm not exactly sure yet. I think it's also sorting through that. I feel like that's why I do so many different things. I do piano and media club and basketball and academic team and all that stuff. So it's I don't know, but I think just trying to be a better person and just trying to live life and just enjoy it. I think it's partially life's too short to not enjoy and just make the most of it. I think.
Yeah, I remember going to high school. My dad told me on the way there. He's like, "Dude, you just enjoy it. Don't make a big deal. Don't get in trouble. It's this is gonna go away like that."
Right.
And it's what you do now is important for the future. But yeah, that's really cool. That's really inspiring.
Thank you.
So another thing you do is you come to our youth group.
Yeah.
And I just because I know we've talked a little bit about youth group and you obviously you believe in God, right?
Yeah.
And it's just where has your journey with God been?
It's always been something I've kind of lived with. My parents are both believers and Christians. I think most of my family, going up to however far, my grandparents on both sides have always been believers and stuff. And we used to go to church more when I was little, and then we just kind of got more busy, and we weren't able to go as much. And that's why the youth group was awesome, getting to go and still hear the word, usually once a week. And I think that's really awesome. And I've always believed, I just feel like there's so much beauty in the world and so many awesome things that it's hard not to believe that it came from someone or something,
For like, you mean nothing? For...
Well, yeah, I mean, it's hard to believe it came from nothing,
Yeah.
And I think there's so many miracles and so much beauty and amazing things, like, it makes you think there has to be something, and, I believe in the Bible and believe the Word, and I feel like, I know that Jesus, sacrificed himself for our sins and died for our sins, and I believe that, I've always kind of embraced to believe that, and even today, as I'm more, I guess, independent as I was when I was like 5, I still believe that, so, yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. What's been your favorite part of the youth group? Like, what have you liked about it?
I think I've learned a lot. A lot of it I think I knew, but I kind of forgot a little bit over time. But I think kind of learning, I've learned a lot of the new stuff, but also kind of getting back on some older stuff has been really awesome. And also just kind of the socializing and making more friends and stuff, and that's been awesome too. So
yeah. I like youth group. I really like talking about Jesus because it's like Jesus died for me, and even though I'm like a dirty rotten wretch, and it's especially getting older, I'm learning more about how bad my sin is, and it's just, I think it's really cool that group of young people get to come together to talk about Jesus,
Yeah, for sure.
So I won't get emotional, but
no, I can do
right now.
Yeah. But, I mean, he's just so incredible in what he's done for all of us. And, we're all sinners, and I think it's important just to, we're all sinners, and as much as we try, we'll always sin, because it's part of life. We're imperfect as humans, and I think just using that and just trying to learn and be better people is important, and especially through the Word and all that.
Yeah. So, what's your favorite story in the Bible?
That's tough. I think the one I really liked, it was a pretty famous one, but kind of hearing it again was inspiring. The fiery furnace with
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
That was a good one because it just shows how amazing Jesus is. And there's a lot of great stories, but I think that one sticks out to me for sure as one that just it's really inspiring. And I think a lot of the ones where it shows people who aren't believers, but by the end they become believers is really cool. Like the whole story with Saul and Paul is really cool, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I've been reading the Book of Acts, which I think our youth group needs to go through, because it shows how hard it is to be a believer. Because we went through John, I think, John, John, and it was about Jesus and what I liked about that is that Jesus, he was the example, and I was like, he had to go through suffering in order for us to get eternal life, but now he calls us to go through suffering.
Yeah. And
I think it's cool in Acts because although Jesus is in heaven, he's coming soon. And he, you see the disciples and Paul, they change, but they suffer so much. There's this story about Stephen, and he was one of the disciples of Jesus, and the Jews weren't having it with him. They sat him down and they told him he was a blasphemer and all that. And Stephen, he basically told him what God's word said, and then how these prophecies aligned that Jesus was the Messiah, and how he died. And they got so mad that they stoned him to death. And although that's sad, it's really, I think Paul puts it good in Philippians, to live is Christ, but to die is gain. It's although you're living in this world, you're living to tell others about Jesus, and when you die, it's showing that it means a lot,
Yeah, for sure.
It's really cool in that sense, but yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Luke, is there anything you want to talk about? Any other questions?
I don't know. Maybe more for you. How have you enjoyed doing the podcast so far? I think it's really awesome what you're doing. I think it's a really cool idea, and I've enjoyed being on it so far. It's been awesome talking with you and stuff. And
dude, the podcast, it's interesting. The crazy thing is that we'll make those goofy movies, and the shirtless man was one of them.
Yeah.
The tickle monster was another, and then the detective ones are not as weird, but they're not goofy, but they're still sort of category, their story.
Right.
Their stories. I like making that stuff.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't necessarily. A lot of my friends, like outside of you and Jack, don't really watch those, and it's cool because now we're talking, just a podcast, and so many more people like in my friend group have watched it. There's the one with Noah got right now, as of right now, it has 56 views, and the one with Ronnie has 46 views, and it's cool that like 50 people have basically watched them.
Right.
And even though 50 people isn't really a lot of people compared to like billions of people, but like when you start somewhere,
you gotta start somewhere.
You just gotta start somewhere, and it's really cool. And the conversations we've had is it's just been really cool.
Yeah, I agree. I haven't had the chance to hear all of Ronnie's yet because it was pretty long. I've heard part of it, but I heard all of Noah's. That was really cool. And I just think I think it's awesome, kind of covering a bunch of different bases. Like today we talked about movies and music and religion and kind of all the different things. It's cool, kind of how it all weaves together and kind of just covering all bases. And I think for sure.
Yeah. Which one? Like, what subject that we've talked about have you liked the best?
I think I've enjoyed them all on some capacity. I think obviously talking about Jesus and kind of his ways and all that is really important, and I enjoyed that conversation. But also movies, I think, is other things. I feel like in the past couple of years, I've really become more a movie fan. I've always liked movies. I've always gone to the theater, but it was more for like the Marvel stuff and animated things and all that. But now like I've really kind of become more like integrated into cinema and like some of the best films ever, and kind of watched a lot more, which is really cool. And I think that's another thing. I think it'd be fun to like become a writer one day and write movies or even act in them. I don't know if I'd be a good actor, but like it'd be fun to at least try or like, be a director.
Work for Hollywood.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I've thought, because we've been talking about careers. Like my parents are like, what college you want to go to, and it's like, I don't necessarily know what I want to do, and like you said, you don't necessarily know what you want to do either.
Right.
Because like over the summer we went to church camp, and there was this. Like, I don't remember what the pastor there was talking about, but he was talking about, hey, go into, like, if anybody here, I just feel like it's on my heart that some people here are going to go to ministry and all that. And, like, raise your hand if you think you're going to go to ministry. And I was like, I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
But the more, like, since then, I have been put into ministry. And I was thinking, like, it was going to be a job where, like, okay, I'm going to go become a preacher one day. But all of a sudden, I get involved as the thing. Like, obviously I was involved with the youth group and all that, but now I'm involved with navigators, and I'm telling kids at school about Jesus, and like, and not necessarily in like the church way where you come down, you sit, everybody listens. This is where we take it for people who don't know Jesus and make it fun for them. So we'll have a dance party, but at the end we'll have a 5-minute talk about Jesus, and this is to invite people that don't know Jesus, and it's fun with that aspect. But it's like, where do I go after high school with this? Do I do the college thing of it, or do I is the podcast going to be something, or is it going to be preaching, or am I going to have a completely different job that's not preaching? I don't know what doors. Yeah. There's a lot of opportunities I have, and I just don't know which ones I want to take. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll say for you, I think you're like insanely talented in so many different things. I think you can do whatever you want, whether you want to be a musician or make movies or go into ministry. I think you have the talent to do whatever you want. I think what you do is so awesome. You're so good at so many different things. I think you just have the potential to be amazing one day. So, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. That's actually nice. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what I necessarily want to do.
Yeah.
And I've prayed. I was like, God is like, where do you want me to go? And there's just a bunch of opportunities, and it's not like centered down to one yet,
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
But it's like, everybody else is expecting me to know everything right now, and it's just, I don't know.
Yeah. I think with Ignite also, it's kind of the same thing. It's like, I feel like that's kind of pressuring me in a way to kind of know what I want to be soon. And like, design, I think it's cool. I enjoy it. I think I've kind of learned a lot in terms of like marketing and branding, and just having those skills in like Photoshop and Illustrator is important. But it's not something I would really want to go into one day. I don't want to be like a professional graphic designer. I think it's cool, but I don't know if I really want to be. I think having those skills though is important. And I think for me, it's like, I know I mentioned a couple different career options for me. I think it's just more about doing something I love and I enjoy. Because I think people say like, if you love your job, you don't work a day in your life. And I think I really take that to heart. I think I want to have a job where I find it fun, and like I still find success, whether it's big success or enough success just to help me and my family if I have it one day, hopefully. But yeah, I think it's just more about finding something I really love and I'm passionate for, and just going with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Man, they're making all sorts of noises down there.
Yeah.
My sisters are crazy.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah.
What they do. We went to my grandma's last night. Oh, I can't show you with the phone. The phone's recording us.
Yeah.
But we saw this pretty cool constellation where like all the planets, almost all the planets were all lined up.
My mom mentioned that last night. Yeah, I didn't see it, but I heard that. Yeah.
I could show you it once we're done filming, but we got a pretty cool picture where the sunset, like the sun's already down, but we're standing on this hill and all you see is like our shadows.
Oh yeah.
And it's pretty cool. Might be one of my favorite photos.
Yeah. Yeah, space is pretty awesome. I'm not crazy into like astronomy or anything, but like I think seeing the constellations and all the different things is cool. I know like last year there was like the thing with like seeing the northern lights from like in space from wherever. That was pretty cool. I didn't really get to see it, but like just the idea of like I love the idea of like we all share the same sun, whether we're in India or America or Russia or whatever, or Antarctica, wherever continent or city or wherever, we all are under the same sun. I think that's really cool. And
Yeah, it's cool. One thing my dad told me is that I think it's Orion. You know the Orion, the constellation of that.
Right.
That it's gonna, like all of the other constellations, they'll eventually move.
Mm-hmm.
Like in a million years, they'll move.
Right.
But Orion, and there's one other constellation I can't remember, but they will stay the same in a million years.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And the book of Job, Job mentions Orion's belt. Like, can you move Orion's belt? Or something along the line of that. And it's like, we don't know exactly when Job was written, but 3,000-4,000 years ago, that's when that would have been. It's just cool to see that type of stuff,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, we got all the time in the world.
Yeah.
So, what's been like just life so far?
It's been good. Just kind of living and just enjoying it. And yeah, and this year's been crazy fast. Like it's weird. Like I think on one hand it's like it's been fast, but also like I moved in October, and like I feel like living in my old house was like forever ago. Like it was kind of sad because a couple weeks ago it was a whole weird process, right? Because like we were looking for a house for a while about a year ago, and then I think it was June we finally bought one, and then I think it closed in August. So we took over in August while still living in our old house. So we had like two houses almost. Like we didn't live in both, but like we kind of owned two. So it was kind of weird for a while, and then eventually we moved in at end of October. We still owned our other house, and we finally, because then we transitioned into selling our old house while living in the new one, and finally we sold it around Christmas time. I think it was a little bit after, maybe, or a little before. I don't remember. In December, January, that time. Yeah. And then finally sold to them. I guess it was like early February. I think it was like February 1st or something like that, or like the 3rd. And that was kind of sad because that was our last time going to the house. So we had dinner there and stuff for the last time, and just kind of seeing all that. It was kind of sad, and just because I lived there my entire life, and it was hard moving on. But like my new house is awesome. I really like it a lot. I think it's nice. It's and even so, we're not fully done. We still have the pool to put in this summer. I think we're getting that pretty soon in the basement once we finish that.
Dude, your new house, so like I think out of all my friends, you have the coolest house.
I appreciate that.
But then you move into the bigger house, like man, you just got way. Like I didn't know you could get cooler with the houses, but it's cool.
Yeah. It's been awesome. It was sad again, because a lot of memories there, but I think it's more about the memories stay with you. It's not like the memories leave with the house. Even if the house leaves, it's like those still stay with you. The one kind of downside though is like our old house was like kind of right in the middle of Florence. It was kind of perfectly close to everything, but now it's like we were kind of further away, but it's still cool. It's nice.
Hey, I have an idea for that detectives legacy.
Yeah.
Well, what if, like, because obviously we're driving. This is big world. But what if we like have a shot where you look at your old house and we'll drive by it as like we're going to whatever mission.
Cool. Yeah.
I thought about that. I was like, we could connect the world a little bit.
That'd be cool.
Drive by your house.
That'd be nice.
Dude, I got my permit.
That's right.
Driving. Yeah. It's been fun. Yeah. Dude, you're missing out.
I know. I'm excited. I'm scared for sure, but also it's exciting. I've done a little bit of practice driving with my dad, and it's been fun. I think it wasn't as hard as I thought. I thought it'd be like awful at it, but I was okay. I mean, for my first time, it went pretty well. That was a while ago though, so I don't know. We gotta do some more practicing soon, but I'm excited. Yeah, I got a while. I got until June, so about 3 months from today. I don't know if I'll take it on June 1st, but whenever that is,
Is your birthday on June 1st?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, it's like, it's just cool that you get to go places. Like, and we drove last night to go get pizza with my grandma, and it was cool because I sat in the seat and been on this road.
Yeah.
With somebody else driving. Now I get to go, and it's cool.
Right.
In that sense, I like.
Yeah,
it's just cool.
I feel like I've been learning more with like road rules and stuff, and I feel like at first I was like I thought it'd be more complicated, but I feel like I'm kind of understanding it more. I feel like hopefully I'll be good. I'll be good to go once that starts. And I know my friend Logan, because he got his permit a while ago actually, because well, what do you think? His birthday is in like September, so he's older, but he showed me this app, this DMV test app, where you can like take different tests and stuff.
Oh really?
About like when they what's the test called? Is it a permit test?
It's like Kentucky driver's test or something. I don't know.
Something like that. Yeah.
It's so at least for Kentucky, you get 40 questions, but you have to at least get 32 of them right.
Right.
And as soon as you get 32 right, you're done. You don't have to take all 40.
Right.
And then you also have to take an eye test, which I have perfect eyesight, but like if you don't, you'll know.
Yeah. I'll be fine, I think, with that. I haven't gotten an eye test in a long time. That's probably not a good thing, but I think my eyesight's pretty good.
Yeah. How many fingers?
2.
Well, dude, it's been fun. I like having you on here.
Yeah, this is fun. That was everything I hoped for and more. It was a good conversation.
We so with podcast stuff, this will come out. We're filming this. This will come out Monday.
Okay.
So and we have Rob and Charles coming on, and that will come out in 2 weeks. But we're filming it Monday, too. Okay. And then I'm filming another one Friday, which will come out 2 weeks after that. I'm gonna try to get every other Monday.
Yeah.
To get these out.
Sounds good. Yeah.
It's cool. It's all cool.
Yeah. Are you excited for March Madness pretty soon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish if I had like more time to just focus and watch it, it'd be cool. But it's like I don't pay attention at all. The same with like the football stuff. Like I started watching some of the games and then I stopped.
Yeah.
And then like none of my teams that I wanted to win won, and by the end of it, I just said I'm not a football fan no more. Like when the Bills, like obviously the Bengals are not so sweet.
Yeah.
But when the Bills didn't even like not kill the Chiefs, they better not kill the Chiefs, but like beat the Chiefs.
Right.
I was like, you know what, I'm done.
Yeah.
No more.
It's been weird for me because like growing up, I was never a big sports fan. Like I don't remember this. My mom and dad say I hated the Bengals when I was little, which is kind of funny.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know, but I remember this pretty vividly. Still, I was I guess 9 maybe. And it was 2018. It was the Bengals and Buccaneers. It was the end of the game, and my dad was watching, and I just watched with him, and I was like, this is actually pretty fun. And then I kind of became a fan ever since, and now it's been 7 years almost, and I'm a huge football fan, huge college basketball fan. And like NBA too, I went to the Patriots game last Sunday. That was a lot of fun with my dad because that was one of my Christmas presents.
Yeah.
So that was cool. But yeah, I don't know. I just hope I see at least one championship from any of my teams before I die. That's it, just one. I know some of them have won. Like UK has won 8 championships, but all before I was a fan. Like the Reds have won 5 World Series, but all before I was a fan. The Bengals have nothing. So
yeah,
the Bengals are definitely my number 1 team. I'd like to win. UK also. I feel like they've always been like one of the top tier teams, and like. This year, their new coach, I hope that they do better in the tournament. Because, their old coach, John Calipari, he was good, but, the game kind of passed him by, I think. And, the past 3 seasons, we lost in the first round 2 of those 3 seasons, and they lost in the second round the other season against, pretty bad teams.
Yeah.
So that wasn't fun. I think this year, though, I have faith that we can make it far. We've had a lot of injuries this year, but, I don't know. I think if we get everyone healthy and ready to go, we'll be good.
Dude, you got season passes to the UK games, too, right?
Kind of, yeah. It's, my dad split season tickets with his friend. I think his friend gets 2/3 and he gets 1/3. It used to be 1/3 each with a third friend, but he stopped doing it. But it's fun. Yeah, I went to a lot of games this year. It's hard because it's always either 4 tickets or 2 tickets, and it's hard to find it. But it's fun. Yeah. Yeah. I think that the best game this year was Tennessee. That was a couple weeks ago, and that's a big rivalry, and they're the Tennessee was top 5 ranked in the country. And we beat them by double digits. So that was fun. I think it was 75-64, and that was a school night too. And then the next day we were off school because of the snow day, so that was fun.
Oh, I remember that because Harry was telling me that you invited him, but he couldn't go for some reason.
I don't know. I was
or maybe it was a different one.
It was because I took him to the game the past 2 years, and this year it was just hard to find time to bring someone because it was when we had 4 tickets it was usually the family and stuff, and then it was always 2 tickets besides that, and it was just either usually me and my dad or my dad and Bree or my mom or whatever. So it just depended. Yeah, and today they play Auburn at Actually, like right now, it's like 1:02. I think the game starts at 1.
Right,
So
right
I'll watch
now.
it when I get home, I think. But that'll be tough because Auburn's the number 1 team in the country, and they're like amazing. They've lost like 2 games all season, and they have probably one of the best players. His name's Janai Broom. He's like a forward center, and he's really good. So it'll be a tough game. It'll be a great win if we somehow beat them. But I don't know. So yeah.
Dude, I like basketball a little more than football.
Yeah, basketball's fun. I definitely prefer college basketball. I think NBA is fun, but like also like they don't try as hard during the season because they're more focused on the playoffs and stuff. They don't play as good like defense. But
really?
college ball, it's like they all are trying to get to the NBA and they're all like trying their hardest all the time.
Yeah. Huh? I didn't realize that.
It depends. Like the game we went to, they were trying pretty hard. The Pacers game, but like a lot of the time, like I mean, like the NBA All-Star game that was pretty recently. They don't really try during that because they don't want to risk getting injured, and they kind of like have to play, which is kind of weird. I don't know, but like also it's like it's more for the fans, and more for them to have fun also, and they have all the like events, like the dunk contest and all that stuff too. So it's I don't know. It was I liked all that stuff, and the game was okay. I don't know. It was different because this year they did like a tournament thing, where it was like 4 teams of like 8 and like a bracket.
Yeah.
And it was okay. I don't know, but yeah.
Okay, I got one more question.
Okay.
One question. LeBron James or Michael Jordan?
Oh man. I know it's a little outdated, but I think I got a MJ still. I don't know. I just they're both great players. Don't get me wrong. LeBron's an excellent player, but like, I mean, Jordan won 6 NBA Finals. He won 5 MVPs, won Defensive Player of the Year. He was the scoring leader for 10 seasons. I just feel like, I mean, he didn't play as long, but he just had like the higher peak, I think, and he was like everyone wanted to be like Michael Jordan in the '90s. And like I think his influence on basketball is just more than LeBron. LeBron's a great player. Don't get me wrong, but also like I consider like LeBron won like 4 MVPs from like 2008, 2012, and then hasn't won one since. Where like Jordan won like 5, kind of all across his career. And like LeBron's still a great player, but he hasn't been like the best of the best, like the number 1 player in like a few years. And like Jordan kind of always was, I feel like. So I think I have to go with Jordan. They're both amazing players, and they're both great. It's a tough pick, but I think Jordan's my goat personally.
There you
go. And also he was in the better Space Jam movie, so that's another thing.
Okay. I wish they would make a good basketball movie, and it's not like, oh, basketball's got a good movie, Space Jam. It's like, is it that good?
It's silly. I like this. I think the first one, it's just like a fun movie. I like it.
It's fun. Yes.
The new one was kind of a lot. I don't know. It was like all the cameos and stuff. It was cool, but
I
like
feel like
it was too
less
much.
about basketball. It's more like, hey, do you remember this?
Right. Yeah.
I didn't finish it. It was terrible.
Yeah. It's like there's a lot of movies like that. I like that, and like Wreck-It Ralph 2 was kind of like that too. That was still like not bad. It just was a lot of like cameos. It was all the Disney stuff. It was cool seeing that, but also like
Ready Player One.
That's another one. Yeah.
I liked Ready Player One. It wasn't horrible.
I remember liking it. I only watched it once when it came out. I haven't seen it since then. But I remember liking it. It was kind of cool.
You read the book to it?
I forgot there was a book. No, I haven't read it. No.
I'm not read it either. So.
Yeah.
I heard it's like completely different though than the movie because the movie they add, Batman and all the other movie stuff into it. So it was less bad. But I don't know. That might be something I'll check out.
Yeah, I think the difference between like book and movie is interesting. Like, there's a lot of like really great movies based on books. A lot of times they take some liberties and change some things, and I understand like comparing the two, Yeah. And like the reverse, like there's this movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's really good. It has Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt and a lot of really good actors. And then the director Quentin Tarantino, who's like one of my favorite directors, made the book kind of about the movie after the movie came out. I've been reading it. It's really good. It's like kind of 1960s Hollywood and kind of the whole story. It kind of combines like real stuff and like fictional. And it's really interesting, but it's cool kind of the reverse when the book's based on the movie as opposed to like the movie is based on the book.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like we read Hunger Games in 7th grade,
right.
And I did like some of the liberties it took. I just didn't like the Hunger Games as a whole. I don't necessarily like the killing.
Yeah,
and that's the whole point of it,
right.
And I understand that.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I just not bored.
Yeah, It's weird, like, I remember I watched the movie with my family, like, a couple years before, maybe it was, like, the year before 7th grade. I remember really liking the movie, and I read the book, and we watched the movie again in school, and I liked it less because I didn't like how they took stuff out. I know it's a dumb thing to be upset about, but I feel like I just expected the book and movie to be, like, the exact same, and then, like, changing some things kind of made me upset for some reason. I don't know.
I like the changes they did. I didn't like the changes they did in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Because people are like, those movies are so good, and they're... The whole problem I have with the Harry Potter movies is that they don't, like, you have no idea what the character's motivation is unless you read the book.
That's true, yeah.
But I think most people read the books before they watch the movies. But they're like, you know what, this is.
Yeah, I read the first book after I watched the movie. I watched all the movies with my family when I was like really really little. I don't remember a whole lot from them. I remember like the main stuff. I remember what's the one lady with the pink outfits and stuff.
Oh,
what's her name?
I think it's Umbridge.
Umbridge, yeah. I remember like thinking she was the worst. She was like a pretty good villain. But I need to watch those again. There's like a lot of movies I've seen that I need to rewatch. Like those, probably all the Star Wars. I mean, I remember them enough. Like still, I mean, they're Star Wars. You know, kind of. I mean, you know,
yeah,
they're great. Most of them are great.
I want to rewatch all those, all the Marvel movies.
That too. There's some I haven't seen. Like Doctor Strange 1 I haven't seen. Really? Or like Iron Man 3. There's a few I haven't seen. And a lot of the new shows I haven't watched either.
I like Doctor Strange. The first Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
I don't really care for the second one.
Yeah, it was okay. It was kind of disappointing. I kind of expected more. I guess because people thought it'd be more like No Way Home with all the cameos and stuff. And like I think No Way Home did it in a way where it's like they're important to the story. You know, kind of just the idea of being Spider-Man.
Yeah, they just
that was really
them
cool.
all.
Well,
they just killed them all in Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah, that's exactly yeah. I guess they weren't really as important because it was alternate universes and stuff, but still.
But it's like, man, you could have done something here.
Yeah,
there's more potential for it.
Yeah, like one thing I wanted to see. I know it's kind of goofy, but like originally when they were casting Iron Man, they almost chose Tom Cruise. I know people are saying
really?
that there were rumors like Tom Cruise Iron Man was going to be in Doctor Strange 2. I was hoping he would be, and then he wasn't. And I was kind of disappointed about that. I know it's like kind of silly, but I don't know. That would have been cool.
That would be interesting if Tom Cruise is Iron Man.
Yeah, I think it would have been good. I like Tom Cruise. I think he's a good actor. I think that would have been cool. Yeah, I think he'd be good as like a billionaire, you know, sleazy playboy, and also like as a superhero, would be cool because he's great in action and stuff.
Yeah,
you know, we already know that.
It's a different like type of role, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the thing with Iron Man is just like I don't know, it's different than the role of Mission Impossible, like what Tom Cruise does.
Right.
He does more running. It'd be more like fly suit, it'd be CGI type of stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. I've always liked. I think Iron Man's one of my favorite superheroes. He's just cool. I don't know. I just think he's cool. You know. I just think he's like because he's like a rich celebrity, but also like fights bad guys and like has a cool suit and stuff.
Right.
You know? And I was really sad when he died in Endgame. Like Endgame's like amazing.
Spoilers.
Sorry. Yeah. Spoilers. Like Endgame's a great movie. But I remember like sitting in the theater, just kind of sitting with myself for a second, just being like man, they just killed Iron Man. Like I kind of expected it going in because it was like the last movie for Iron Man and Captain America, but still when they did it, I was like really really sad.
I was surprised with the Guardians 3 that they didn't kill him anymore.
Yeah, I remember James Gunn said they were gonna like a Guardian will die. I guess technically one did because Rocket was like dead for a little bit and then he was like brought back to life, right? Or like he was like in a coma or whatever. That was good. That was also really sad. But just more about like, it was the ending of like them being together and stuff. That was really good. I really liked Guardians 3.
Yeah, I think the Guardians movies are the best Marvel movies.
They're definitely up there for sure. I think for me, when it comes to like my favorites, the original Avengers I love, and then Infinity War and Endgame are great, and then No Way Home's up there. Guardians, I need to watch the first Guardians. 2 and 3 I remember like they're amazing, but the first one I need to rewatch because that came out a while ago. You know, that was like 2014. Yeah. What else? Thor Ragnarok I like a lot. That one's really good. There's a lot of good ones. There's a lot of good. There's a few that are really bad. You know, just it's kind of a mixed bag. You know, I don't know. Are you excited for the new Superman? Because that's James Gunn doing that.
If it's good,
yeah.
I mean, like I've seen like how it's a big deal. It's just I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like they should go away from the superhero movies for a little bit. Like it's cool at a time, but now it's like all right, let's do something else.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do because I feel like there hasn't been a proper DC universe. Because like a lot of the old DC movies, not old, but like the ones with like Batman v Superman, and like those were just like not very good. Or like what's the one? Justice League was pretty bad, and like and then the sequels like Wonder Woman was pretty good, and then Shazam was pretty good, and then the 2 sequels were like just bad. Like Aquaman 2 was really bad, and like Black Adam. A lot of them are just bad. But like I'm excited to see if James Gunn if he can build like a good universe. I think he will because I think he's clearly really talented, like the Guardians stuff. Yeah. So I don't know.
I think at least the look of it looked cool.
It looks cool, yeah.
Like because the other ones just are so dark and gritty.
Right.
And, like this one's like bright.
Right. Exactly. That's why like the original ones I like the original Superman from like the 70s. I think it was good. Or like the old Batman movies. All the Batman movies are pretty good. Like the old ones are like Michael Keaton are good. And,
Oh yeah. We get nuts. Let's get nuts.
Yeah. There's a lot of great movies this year. I'm excited. I mean, there was like Fantastic Four and Superman and the new Jurassic World all in like the same week, which is
the Jurassic World one does look cool.
That looks good. Yeah.
It's like a reboot, right?
Kind of. I think it's the same universe, but like all new characters and stuff. So that'll be good. Yeah. I mean, I like Chris Pratt, but like those movies weren't. I mean, the Jurassic World I liked, but the 2 sequels are both kind of bad. But I mean, Chris Pratt's cool. I like him. But also Scarlett Johansson, she's a good actress, so I'm excited to see her as like the main character and stuff. Yeah. Like I've seen all of them. I haven't seen the original sequels. I mean, the original is like amazing. Obviously, it's like probably the best one in the series. But like the two sequels, I haven't seen, and then the new.
I've seen the very first Jurassic Park, and I've not seen the rest of them.
Okay. Have you seen like the Jurassic World or really?
No.
I mean, like I think Jurassic World's good. It's kind of like got mixed reviews, but I think it's good. And then the sequels are kind of whatever. And then Jurassic Park's amazing. Obviously, that's a classic. You know.
They look cool. It seems cool. I like dinosaurs. So,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, all right. I got a controversial topic we're about to talk about.
Okay.
Do you believe that we walked with dinosaurs?
I feel like there's like evidence and stuff that like shows dinosaurs existed, but again, it's like with the timeline of the Bible. I don't know. I think dinosaurs were here, but yeah, that's just my opinion. I don't know enough about the history to really give a straight answer, but I've always kind of believed dinosaurs were with us at some point.
So, like, what if I told you this? Job chapter 41 talks about the Behemothsaurus, which is a really big long neck dinosaur, and also talks about the Leviathan, which I think in Jurassic World is that big crocodile looking at that eats the shark.
Right. Yeah.
It talks about those two, but a lot of people take that as, I think it's more literal, especially since Joe, like in the context before, he was talking about, look at how I made this and this and this, and now he's like, look at my biggest creation right here, with like animal wise.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool, but it also shows that maybe we did walk with dinosaurs.
I think so. I think that's my opinion. I mean,
yeah.
I think the whole paleontology is like interesting. I think like I think it's cool. I think it's cool seeing like the fossils and stuff and like the big skeletons like museum. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you been to the Creation Museum?
I've been. It's been a long time though. It's been I think when I was little. Yeah.
What about the Ark Encounter?
Not that. I heard it's cool though.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
We'll have to take you sometime.
Yeah.
Well, my dad used to work for him,
right.
And now he's got a different job at Walton.
Right.
But yeah, we'll have to take you. It'd be a cool thing to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah. I think dinosaurs are cool. Even if they I think they were real, but just the idea of them existing is neat. They're just like these massive creatures. It's cool. I think.
Giant lizards.
Right.
Yeah. You know what they called dinosaurs before they got the term dinosaurs? The word dinosaur was made in the 1800s. I don't remember who called them that, but you know what they called them before?
What?
Dragons.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So when you look at like the Chinese dragon,
right,
that would have been their influence.
Yeah.
And dragons, I think, is just another. I could be wrong about this, but dragons is just another way you call them like lizards.
Yeah. So
like you got the Komodo dragon,
right,
which is a lizard,
right.
And
bearded dragon, right? The bearded dragon.
The bearded dragon, right? Yeah. So and it's just a lot of they would have been known as dragons, and then there's a few other things in the Bible, like in Exodus, it talks about some of the animals they can eat, and one of them is giant lizards. The only version, like all the other versions say giant lizards, except for the King James version where they said a large tortoise,
okay,
which would have been a giant lizard because they would have wrote it in England and all that. But and then there's in Revelation it talks about a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if it's being metaphorical or literal. Revelation's it's a harder one to talk about because it's talking about end times. Yeah. But it's like a 7-headed dragon or something.
Right.
But yeah, it's interesting because I have one friend which you know him, but he was asking me like, do you really believe dinosaurs are real? Like because I think he might think that they're scripted. Like I don't know, there's like some conspiracy theory, but I think they're real.
I think they're real too. Yeah.
There's plenty of evidence, and some of it like with the fossilization, like we see fish fossils on top of Mount Everest. A lot of them could have just been killed from Noah's flood, which is what a lot of people believe. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Depends.
Yeah. The movies are cool. I think that's like the idea of the dinosaurs being back is neat. Even if the science like isn't really like accurate in real life, like the DNA or whatever. But like I think the idea is cool.
Oh yeah, I think most people go to theaters just to watch dinosaurs.
Right. Exactly. People. Yeah.
Which yeah.
I actually didn't see Jurassic Park up until like a couple years ago because I remember it was like I guess that year up until the newest one that my mom was like we should watch the Jurassic World movies because I never like seen them all the way. I think we watched Jurassic World first and then Jurassic Park and then like the Jurassic World sequel and then the new one when that came out. I guess it was like 3 summers ago maybe. That was a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah. I hope it's good. maybe I know my cousins are really big into Jurassic World and
Yeah.
all that, so maybe I'll watch them.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm happy to have you on the podcast.
Yeah, that was great. I had a great time. It was fun.
It's
Yeah.
been fun.
Yeah.
This will premiere Monday.
Yeah.
So
sounds good.
hey, and tell the people to start watching
I
this.
will. Yeah. Thanks, man.
Thanks for being on.
Yeah, it was fun.
Peace.
Peace.